I'm hearing, Brian, if you have the information, that the attendance over at the Tokyo Dome festivities for their doubleheader this year, January 4th and the 5th, it was, well, in the words of Tony Gurria, to paraphrase him, when they tackled Doink the Clown in Philadelphia, the crowd was down.
Oh boy, was it. And remember, it's 2 nights, because the tagline is 2 days to move the world.
2 days to get the fuck out of here.
And of course, that's Wrestle Kingdom 19 and Wrestle Dynasty. Let's go to Wrestle Kingdom 19. It's the 19th kingdom of wrestling at the Tokyo Dome. This is the annual
another 19th nervous breakdown.
This is the annual January 4th event, of course, that preceded the Wrestle Kingdom name. It is the traditional big show of the year in Japan.
Yeah, and let's be fair, they've been doing this for years and years, going back to the, late 80s and early 90s when the business got big enough over there to do Tokyo Dome spectaculars, and they've had waves of success, and they've had the valleys as well as the peaks over the years where the product was hot and was not and was in the middle, and they got flummoxed with COVID, but theoretically and traditionally, January 4th is their biggest show of the year. Over the past couple of years, they've split it up and done a couple of them around the pandemic, and this one was not the most impressive. Somebody out there is going to say, well, you draw that many people on 2 nights in a row in the same stadium. Well, one of the biggest cities in the fucking world, let's take a shot at it, but it's not been as impressive as the benchmark they have set in the past for themselves.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, actually, if WWE ran the Tokyo Dome right now, how much would they be able to draw? It would probably be bigger than this. This was 24,107 people, as currently reported, for night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom 19. Here's the card. Hiroki Goto won the New Japan Rambo, which I don't know what that is. Hold on. New Japan Rambo is a battle royal. He won a battle royal by eliminating the Great Okan in a 4-way Tokyo Terror ladder match.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's happened there too. Has Tony poisoned them?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can look at for the downfall of Japanese wrestling, a lot of things outside of their control, and a lot of things that are directly the American influence on Japan. Used to be the other way. But the Tokyo Terror ladder match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, and...
Wait a minute, what's that noise I hear? Antonio Inoki is turning in his grave and his chin is making a tsunami.
The Ichiban Sweet Boys of Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita defeated the Intergalactic Jet Setters...
Oh, Christ on a cracker.
...of Kevin Knight and Kushida, and also defeated in the same match, it says Catch 2-2. I don't know if it's supposed to be Catch 22. Catch 2-2, TJP and Francesco Akira.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And Bullet Club War Dogs.
God damn it.
Of Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney.
Well, I wondered where old Clark Connors was, but what's his partner's name?
Drilla Maloney. I don't know why they got me.
Because he's a driller!
Well, the next match, Jim, and again, things that are different now than they were 34 years ago when this tradition started on January 4th. For the IWGP Women's Championship, Mayu Iwatani defeated either AZM or AZM. I believe it's AZM, but I'm not certain, so it could be AZM. 8 minutes, 45 seconds.
Oh, well, thank you for supplying that detail.
In a 4-way match for the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship, El Phantasmo defeated Ren Narita, Jeff Cobb, and Ryohei Oiwa with Hartley Jackson. 10 minutes, 1 second.
Well, how in the world did anybody accompanied by Hartley Jackson lose?
In a lumberjack death match.
Do they actually have lumberjacks in Japan?
The lumberjacks were Toruyanu, Oleg Boltin, Tiger Mask. Poor Tiger Mask. Even though it's not the original, poor Tiger Mask. Master Watto, Dick Togo, Show.
Dick to go is still working.
Well, at least as a lumberjack. Show, Yujiro Takahashi, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And in that match, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Evil. 15 minutes, 7 seconds.
Just the concept of it? Just, is there now going to be only good and no evil left in the world?
Apparently next month he's taking on Jealousy. We'll see what happens there. It's a winner-takes-all match for the Never Openweight Championship.
Wait a minute, it's the winner takes all, but you never get the belt?
Well, it's for both the Never Openweight Championship and the AEW International Championship. Konosuke Takeshita, with Don Callis, defeated Shingo Takagi, 12 minutes, 46 seconds. So he is now also the Never Openweight Champion.
You know what? They ought to be turning cartwheels that they drew 24,000 people for this show so far.
Well, Jim, the next match, for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, El Desperado defeated Doki. If that's how you pronounce it, I apologize.
Whoa, no, it's gotta be. It's gotta be Dookie. Doesn't it have to be Dookie? There's Dookie.
Listen, Douki. How do you pronounce it?
D-O-U, that's Dookie.
He defeated Dookie. El Desperado defeated Dookie. The Tokyo Dome.
Okay, think of D-O-U-C-H-E. Do. Shh.
All right, well,
Dookie.
that was only 5 minutes and 20 seconds. It was a little Duke.
But it was a lot of Dookie.
In a singles match for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship.
What the fuck? They've done the same thing to them that they have over here. They've killed their own fucking golden gooses. This is meaningless gibberish.
Oh, and by the way, Dookie lost the championship to El Desperado in that previous match. And in this match, Yota Tsuji defeated David Finlay for the championship. Two more big matches on the Big Tokyo Dome show. Tetsuya Naito defeated Hiromu Takahashi, 17 minutes, 4 seconds. And finally, the main event. For the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr., the champion.
Oh, good Lord.
With Hartley Jackson, Kosai Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Ryohei Oiwa, defeated Shoto Umino, 43 minutes, 44 seconds.
Boy, I bet you it felt like every single second of it, too, after all that other stuff you just read off.
You know, before we even get to night two, Japanese wrestling is dead. And obviously, they drew 24,000. You could point to, that's Wembley. Wembley, look at Wembley.
Okay, what was last year?
Hold on. Wrestle Kingdom 18. What was that? Previous year was 18. Let's open this in a separate tab. 27,422.
What was the previous year?
The previous year was 2 nights in 2023. 26,085 night 1. Night 2, 5,533. Is that right? And that was a combined 31,618. And then the previous year to that was
the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's getting closer to that, but nothing.
Well, but then it didn't go to the year before the pandemic. We're talking, go back 5 years.
Right,
let's look at the 5-year plan. See when AEW was just starting, and let's see where New Japan was in 2019.
All right, let's do these two. Wrestle Kingdom 14, going backwards, January 4th and 5th, 2020. So really right at the beginning of AEW. Night 1, 40,008.
Oh!
Night 2, 30,063. A combined 70,071 people 2 nights.
Okay, and I forgot 2020, I thought was the pandemic, but it said January, duh. So it was right beforehand. So they did 70,000 people for their 2 nights.
And the main event, night 1, the top matches, Okada defeated Kota Ibushi. Naito defeated Jay White. Hiromu Takahashi defeated Will Ospreay. And Jon Moxley defeated Lance Archer.
So the point is that New Japan was actually able to draw money with some of these fucking guys.
38,000 the year before for one night.
And then Tony Khan, being a mark for Japanese wrestling, thinking he could replicate it and that these guys would be that good in a completely different environment, hired all of them and killed Japanese wrestling. And these guys are over here making a fucking lot of money, but not drawing any. And they can't go back over to where they could draw money and draw any for New Japan. So Tony has managed to kill two goddamn companies at the same fucking time.
Well, we go now to night two. Let's talk about night two.
Well, and that's where I was going, because night two, the focus was on AEW talent. And whatever you think about, 24,000 people, it's better than fucking almost half that, which they dropped to 16,000 for the New Japan and AEW combined circle jerk.
Technically, it's New Japan, AEW, as well as World Wonder Ring Stardom, CMLL, and Ring of Honor.
Okay, put the blame on them. It can't be New Japan or AEW.
The opening match, an International Women's Cup Final 4-way match. The winner receives a Women's Championship match from the participating promotion of their choosing. Momo Watanbe defeated Willow Nightingale, Persephone, and Athena. 11 minutes, 13 seconds. In a tag team bout for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship, the champions, the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, defeated the House of Torture, Sho, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. 9 minutes and 27 seconds. In an 8-man Lucha Gauntlet match, Taiji Ishimori defeated Hechicero, Kosei Fujita, Soberano Jr., Master Wato, Mascara Dorada, Titan.
Wait a minute, I thought he was a fucking midget.
No, that's Mascarita Sagrada. This is Mascara Sagrada. Or Dorada. Not even Sagrada. This is Dorada.
Oh, what about the Doritos?
Plus Titan and El Desperado, 16 minutes, 23 seconds. In a grappling rules exhibition match, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Shibata ended in a 5-minute draw. That sounds like the biggest ripoff of the fucking night.
Yeah, we come out here and have a friendly shoot with ourselves for 5 minutes for your enjoyment.
In a winner-takes-all match.
Good Lord.
For the Strong Women's Championship and the undisputed British Women's Championship, Mercedes Moné defeated Mina Shirakawa. 14 minutes, 6 seconds.
They are doing the same thing there that they've done here. They're trying to appeal to the smallest group of niche, devoted, diehard fans that would follow these. I mean, again, the Tokyo Dome shows for any company that's run them, as you said, over the last 30-something years. It's been the big major crowds where they were actually using the whole building and putting people in most of it. Inoki's retirement, it was built more like a UFC event where you came to see the main event, the ultimate matchup, or the farewell to the legend, or some major milestone, and it was about the personalities involved and the issues behind these major stars that they had made. And now it's a bunch of meaningless belt after belt after belt drivel with what the fuck? They don't have any stars, so they're going to make up for it by putting 10 times as many people on a fucking card. It's the same thing as here.
Well, we go to our next match, Jim. David Finlay defeated Brody King, 12 minutes, 53 seconds. Followed by Shota Umino defeating Claudio Castagnoli, 14 minutes, 31 seconds.
He's settling a lot of these long-running blood feuds between these individuals.
In a match for the Never Openweight Championship and the AEW International Championship, Konosuke Takeshita defeated Tomohiro Ishii, 13 minutes, 30 seconds. In a three-way tag team match for the vacant IWGP Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks defeated the United Empire of Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb and Los Ingobernables, I can never do this fucking word, comprised of Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi, 13 minutes, 46 seconds.
And now, wait a minute, a very important distinction here. You said the tag team title, they never let them win anything but the junior heavyweight tag title in Japan before. But now that their company has been decimated by the company that the Young Bucks are EVPs of, they're trying to make nice by letting them win the grown-up adult
That's exactly
tag
what
team
it is.
title version. Okay,
It's that and it's desperation, because you know what? When Kenny Omega was at his hottest over there was not a Japanese insider in Japan that said the Young Bucks meant shit. They were a part of the Kenny Omega package, but they weren't necessary, and their matches...
They were the two little round things dangling off the sides of the Kenny Omega package.
Seriously, I used to talk to people about it.
No, they didn't. Nobody gave a shit about them. It was the same thing as in this country. They put them in the opening matches to do the cartwheels and the train monkey match, the junior heavyweight tag team title.
Well, we then go to the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. The champion Yota Tsuji defeated Jack Perry, 13 minutes, 12 seconds.
So apparently he's hale and hearty over there in the country of Japan, is our boy Jungle Jack.
Kenny Omega returned and defeated Gabe Kidd in 31 minutes, 55 seconds. I heard really good things about the match, which, again, makes you want to ask, why the fuck did he return on a show that wasn't AEW?
He can come back and go 30 minutes in a match that's in any way well received, and he returns 5,000, 10,000, however many thousand miles away from where the guy that's been paying him millions of dollars to go get his guts fixed is still paying him millions of dollars. Comes out on that TV and hands over a fucking belt and stares at a guy.
And by the way, nothing's been done, obviously, to build to him really coming back in America other than his appearance at the pay-per-view. You have to think they were doing something over there to build to this match. Kenny Omega was on the card in the main event, or in main event positions, when things were better years ago. 16,000 for this card. The last match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the champion Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ricochet by submission.
Boy.
20 minutes, 57 seconds.
Well, it is. Poor Zack Sabre Jr. He was in the main event of both shows, and I'm sorry, the Japanese people, it may not have been recently, but they were used to not only the best in wrestling, but athletes that looked like they could beat the shit out of you. Whether it be the days of Inoki and Bruiser Brody or fucking Hansen or goddamn the Funks or Sheik and Abdullah or whoever the fuck, or even their modern day crop. The Q-tip in the main event of 2 nights in the Tokyo Dome in a row? What?
You know, when people talk about, you know, you guys in the territories and people older than you taking the business seriously, who protected their business better than they did over there for years? And look what happened. What happened was the influence of American wrestling on the independents over there, like FMW, then Wing, all these different things. The rise of MMA, and all of a sudden what has always been treated as a very serious sport looked a little different to people. And then it was almost like a merger of wrestling and MMA over there with Pride, with Inoki's involvement with all sorts of stuff. And then New Japan, like, they rebuilt themselves to a point with Okada and Tanahashi. It's stale as could be, and it feels like they're mirroring what AEW is in America more than what traditionally would have worked for a Japanese audience. And if it doesn't work, if this isn't working really well for a Japanese audience now, maybe you should do something different.
Well, but there's resistance to that on either side of the ocean. But when you've got a dome that at one point the big crowds were what, 60,000, 60 or early 60s.
Give or take, yeah.
Um so when you've got a stadium that holds 60,000 people and you've got to cut it down to half and then you draw 24 on one night and 16 on the next night, maybe don't run two nights anymore just because you used to do it. Do they think it's a embarrassment if if we don't run two nights, people will say we're washed up? But what can
I don't know.
16,000 people look like in the Tokyo Dome?
I think New Japan is a mess. I think New Japan is a unmanaged or a mismanaged mess right now, and they've got
And
no
and if they
buzz.
get anybody over, then Tony will hire them away because, oh wow,
Yeah,
and then they'll come over here and not draw any money.
there's not one wrestler they could outcompete Tony on how much he'll offer them. And if you have any dreams of going to the States, it's either that or WWE. And with this, you'll get a whole bunch of money. And Okada seems to be happy.
Wouldn't you be happy for millions of dollars where you barely have to leave your feet when you wrestle and all you have to say in English is bitch?
That's the AEW way. Well, that's the update on Japanese wrestling, the big January 4th and 5th Tokyo Dome Spectaculars.